Shut the fuck up, Matt Walsh. You weirdo. Matt Walsh recently published a video, trying to denigrate the legacy of Emmett Till. Because Matt Walsh he wants to clean up the white man's dirty image in the past. And I watched this 20-minute horrendous video, and it was absolute torture. And the thing is, Matt Walsh was bringing up Emmett Till's father's spotty past with abuse against women. And this is what put the battery in Matt Walsh's back to do the video. Almost like father, like son. But Emmett Till didn't even grow up with his father. For the most part, his mom was a single mother. There's the Emmett Till movie dives into this. And a matter of fact, Emmett Till's father wasn't even in the movie. His father wasn't even in his life. But I guess since his father had a history of abusing women and so forth, he uses that to justify what happened to Emmett Till. Like, these white guys probably stopped a rapist in his tracks, and so forth. And then the white devil bitch, I don't remember her name, who accused Emmett Till. He said that she never recanted, because she says the story and then she recanted. He said she never recanted her story about what that happened or not. But I don't believe that story anyway. Emmett Till may have just whistled at her, or they say Emmett Till spoke with a lisp or whatever. I felt that, if anything, Emmett Till probably looked at her and she probably didn't like his demeanor, because he was from Chicago, and he probably wasn't acting all like yes ma'am, no ma'am, and all that shit like that. He wasn't some black dude that that followed some code they got down there. He's a black boy that didn't follow some code they got down there. And then he was kidnapped, and we know how the rest of the story goes. And then Matt Walsh went on to say, we don't know what really happened in the past. The past could be a lie and all this other stuff. So he destroys his own argument. So we are not sure about anything that happened in the past. So why the fuck would I believe Matt Walsh? Why would I believe any white dude and so forth? But if Matt Walsh want to put a stain on Emmett Till's name, without no receipts, because now you don't need receipts anymore. He's gonna just speak to an audience that's gonna eat that up and believe him, because it clears white society's good name. But I'm gonna bring something up, a video that I should have done a long time ago, but I just didn't do it. Back when I was on YouTube heavy editing videos, there's a documentary called "Women Are the Spoils of War," and during World War II, close to 860,000 women and girls was sexually violated by Allied soldiers. Allied soldiers mean American soldiers, British soldiers, anybody who was going up against Adolf Hitler. Don't take my word for it. Look it up for yourself. Look up documentary "Women Are the Spoils of War," and there's actually testimony of women, European women, about what happened to them. They're speaking in another language. You might have to read subtitles and so forth. And then there's the children of these women who said, yeah, this actually happened. There was a documentary, you know what I'm saying? But America's image in World War II is so pristine. You know what I mean? I'm like, you're not going to see that in Private Ryan and Saving Private Ryan. No movie about World War II is going to expose American soldiers, primarily white American soldiers, sexually violating women and little girls. There's a whole documentary of it. So, yeah. So we can bring that up, and there's plenty of receipts. Don't take my word for it. You know me, I'm old pinheads. You know what I'm saying? I'm not a popular YouTuber, but I'm somebody who, one of my own enemies have told me that said every time he watches my videos, he learns something new. I'm like a guy who just throws out all kind of knowledge that you can look up and you say, all right, he's right. It's just, you know what I'm saying? I'm from the old school when we used to read books. You know what I mean? I'm a Gen X where they try to keep all kind of knowledge secret from us. So we had to go into them black-owned bookstores and poetry spots just to soak up this information. You know, we know this new generation is dumb, and now we got white Caucasoids trying to dumb down just telling the baby boomers or whatever, or this older white generation what they want to hear. And then Matt Walsh also go into like lynchings, like, you know what I'm saying, black people and white people were both being lynched. They were being lynched for the same things, sexual misconduct and so forth. That's a lie. First of all, hanging at one time was a legitimate form of capital punishment in this country. But if you're talking about mob lynchings, that probably happened to white men maybe during the cowboy days, the 1700s or some shit like that. But if you're going into the 20th century, yeah, that's all black people getting lynched for things. Even when it comes to sexual assault, they'll lynch a black man for sexual assault, allegedly, and then they'll catch the white guy or some white guy that confessed to do it, and he'll only get like 2 freaking weeks in the big house. So at them times, the white man didn't really care about white women like that. Come on now. But, you know what I'm saying, he just didn't want black men touching him or having an idea in his head and so forth. There's a book called 100 Years of Lynching. And this book is not even a science fiction or a nonfiction book. It's a book of just paper clippings about an unbiased view on the lynchings that happened. You know, there's Emmit Till is not the first one. There's one guy who was like a 16-year-old kid who was accused of raping and killing a 45-year-old woman that's twice his size. Even though that 16-year-old kid was the help. He did chores for these white people, you know what I'm saying? He was the help. He was the one who alerted authorities about her dead body laying in the shed, and then they went after him. And this white woman, they say, was, I don't know, close to, like, she was a big woman. And a 16-year-old kid was like, I don't know, probably maybe 115 pounds. You know, shit like that. But that's all I want to say. Thanks for watching. Never stop learning.